Well, my name is Richard Alfred Nelson. In the National Guard, I was Division Operations Sergeant, ended up with 49th Division out of Stockton, California. Currently, I've been working with Civil Air Patrol as a chaplain for the last 20 years as a volunteer. Currently, I'm rated at 60%. The last bump at 50%, I was rated at 20 and then couldn't get any farther, and VetComm got me up to 60%. Compensation per month was, I think, $337, about 20%. Currently, because I had my wife on there, it's around $14.50 or close, something like that. Well, skilled, knowledgeable, pleasant to work with. Ask all the right questions, things I didn't even think about. So, yeah, I give her 5 stars. You know, the fact that she was able to write up when I needed, take the time to call me up to begin with, you know, kind of waiting, get in touch with me, get me here, do it on a Saturday, so I appreciate that. I thought I was going to be at 70, but I'm hoping to get 70 or more. Okay, so before the second rating, which I came to VetComm, I was doing DoorDash, and I'm 84 years old. It's hard on my body. It's hard on my car. If I'm doing $1,400 a month in gross, 40% of that goes into my car. And obviously you can see, because I went from 300 to 1,400, I'm making more money now and not having to beat my body up. So just give me a chance to relax a little bit more. Doesn't cover everything, but you know, it's on its way up. It's when you get older, there aren't a lot of people that want to hire you, even though you've got a lot of skills. So this has been a big help. The family. Yeah, I didn't even know, you know, I got out of the Guard in '66 after 10 years. I had no idea that I was due any benefits until probably 10 years ago. Senior Chief said, you could at least get tinnitus.
Yeah.
So I went with a local VA guy. He didn't file the paperwork. So 6 months later, I'm thinking, well, what happened? Why is nothing happening? And so I went down to downtown, and they said, oh, they didn't file the paperwork. So they filed the paperwork again. Took 2 years to get 10%.
Wow.
And then they told me, well, you can't get this, you can't get that, because we don't give that to the National Guard. Well, that's not true, because VetComm got it for me. So a lot of people my age don't even know we have benefits, or can get benefits. You know, they originally, I think the VA said, oh, you can get $30,000 to buy a house with. Well, that doesn't go very far, yeah. First, we've got to get the word out. You know, it's like the best kept secret. You know, we've got the program. Don't delay, because my age is getting older. You know, my group, most of my friends can't vouch for me anymore for being in the Guard, because they're all gone. And so just take a leap, check it out. My grandson served in Korea, and he's only in his 20s, and he filed right after he got out, and he gets benefits. In fact, they put him through school, which I guess I'm beyond that, getting educational. Not I'm beyond getting educated, I'm beyond getting the education benefits. No, don't wait. You know, I waited, 50 years? Look at all that money that I lost in 50 years that was actually due. We need to do a better job of taking care of our veterans, period. I think one of the challenges of veterans is we sign up to serve, okay? And we feel like we're giving, but it's not always that we want to get. And we do it out of the heart of service, and we don't always feel like we deserve anything more than being able to defend our country. You know, it, like I always say that my oath of enlistment has no expiration date. You know, well, I still think I'm in the service. You know, so it's a mindset that you're not sure you deserve anything because, you know, maybe you didn't go overseas, maybe you served in a peacetime period, but you still signed that contract for your life to the government. And so the 1%ers, I'm a 1%er. I'm not a 1% of the income of the U.S., but I'm a 1%er that served my country. And it's important that they recognize us. You know, a lot of Vietnam veterans came back and were spit on. Well, you know, that was just terrible because they're out there defending your freedom. So you deserved it because you gave. Again, some gave all gave some, you know. Now, a veteran may want to improve or may want better, but you have to convince them that they need to come in. So why do they need to come in? They need to come in because they've served their country, and this is part of their package that they deserve to get because, as I've said, we sign a blank check for our life, up into our life, okay, to the government. So that check needs to be cashed and brought back in, okay, for us, for serving. So it's not always easy to get someone to understand that, but especially my generation, who, the silent generation, you know. But if you can do that, if you can show them how this is not something we're just giving you, this is something you earned. And if you've earned it, you need to cash that paycheck. You know, why would I work for Joe Blow down the street for 80 hours a week and say, oh, forget it, you know, you don't need to pay me. And the pay scale, to begin with, for the military, I can't even use that word. But it is, you know? So let's say 50 years, 50
even
years.
$300.
Even $300 a month for 50 years at the minimum. Talk about 1,000 or 1,500, which I get now. And I know that it's gone up from the starting point, but what are we talking about? 300, 400, 500,000? I now get more from VA than I get in Social Security.